What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and this is the Bad Batch Roundtable here on Khaos Central. And I think we're really quickly after this, or soon after this, we're going to be doing the Mandalorian Roundtable with Danny Graham leading that one. We will have our polls, we'll have our normal stuff over here, and I think tonight we'll have some polls on that one too. I'm not positive. But anyways, we're here to talk about this episode of what?
Hey, did you change the music, or is it just me?
No, that's the music that's been on there.
That's the music I used? Oh, my bad. It's something different for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's the one I have right there. I haven't changed it. I haven't had time to change crap. It's been crazy. Anyways, here we are. Bad Batch episode 11, Metamorphosis. We're going to go over what we liked, didn't like, thoughts, predictions. First, overall thoughts. Start with Danny. Danny, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
This show was okay. I didn't hate it, but it was okay. A little disappointed because I thought it was going to go somewhere different when we saw the Emperor and saw like the clone conspiracy, and if we are still seeing a bit of it, but I wanted to see more of the actual clones and the actual creatures that they're cloning and stuff. But it was okay. I mean, nothing to write home about, nothing to get up at 3 a.m. to watch the episode. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. Anto, overall thoughts?
Yeah, I pretty much second Danny. I mean, it's like I get to, like I was saying earlier, I'm like, I feels like a chore to watch some of these episodes, man. And I'm just like, oh my Lord, okay. Let me watch this episode for the roundtable. I don't think it's horrible, but I'm pretty bored with it, to be honest with you. Like, this episode was okay, but I'm just, not feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Austin, overall thoughts?
This show is slowly driving me to alcoholism. Look, compared to the last few episodes, this actually wasn't that bad. I'll actually be the first one to say it. It was okay. Like, there were, like, at this point, if I see any semblance of story, I'm magically gonna be impressed. Like, that's how bad it's gotten. And for the little bit we got, I was somewhat impressed. Was it a great episode? No. But, good job, guys. Last 6 episodes, we finally are getting something. So you know what? I'll give them a little golf clap for participation.
Okay, very good. Shifty, overall thoughts?
Watched it last week when it dropped, or like after Mando, and I actually liked it. 2 days later, I had completely forgot what had even happened. Watched it again over the weekend. And if I hadn't took notes, I probably would have forgot again. I don't know if it's because all the things happening this week and Mando dropping and the Last of Us being so good. I just can't. I mean, they're not knee deep in the story yet. They're still just gradually building. And what is it, episode 11 now? It's just not holding my attention to where I can actually focus and remember what's going down. And it sucks because it actually was kind of good this week, and I can't remember 2 days later. That's a big problem.
Okay, very good. My overall thoughts are much the same as the rest of you guys. This one definitely went in a direction, but there's one glaring problem I had with it, and I'll talk about that when we get to our dislikes. But yeah, there's a story there. The story actually kind of gives direction to the season. We finally did get to see the cloners because we're like, hey, they hinted at this, 3 episodes now? It's like, wouldn't this be the next episode after that? Isn't that like natural progression? No, we're going to do a couple more fun things over here, and they're not going to complete this mission. Some more fun things over here, not going to complete this mission. No, you jump right to, again, and I also said last week, and I think we got this, is notice how Sid's getting mad that they're not completing missions. I kind of said that last week. Man, you could do that in 1 or 2 because they haven't completed a mission in 2 seasons.
Not to mention, Nendroid mentioned last week that season 1 ended with the clone, the Camino lady, right? And now we're here on episode 11, and this is the first time we've seen her.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying. But we'll get to the rest of that here in a minute. Everybody coming in, everybody jumping in. There is a chat, please, a poll, please vote in that. But let's go to our likes. We'll go with likes first. Let's start down with Austinator first. Austinator, please.
Oh God, it's me. All right. Well.
Yes. Well, I knew you were so excited to get these out, and I wanted to let you go first.
All right, I'm gonna try my best here to be enthusiastic about it.
I don't have to go that far, but
all right. Well, the horror, like the little horror aspect, when they were in the ship and it was like dark and you had that like tension there. I actually will admit the tension there was actually pretty solid for what it was. And finally we're getting a little bit of story with the Camino lady, which, this should have been the first episode. If this was the first episode of the season, like if we had a similar thing like this, I wouldn't have complained, but now I'm kind of complaining because it's episode 11 and we're getting it. Because Shifty basically, and everybody said it best, we're episode 11 and now we're getting this shit. Again, the action was fine. The creature from Clone Wars coming back was cool. I think it was the Zillo Beast, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool callback from Clone Wars. Shit, now I forgot everything about. I know what happens in the episode, but it's very. The show. It's like what? It's like pulling teeth sometimes. Other than the horror, again, the action was fine. It progresses along, and Sid progressively, I think Chris said it best too. Sid's progressively well, that's your problem, not mine, type of thing, and them kind of maybe we should split. We should tell Sid, yeah, see you later. We don't want to be here anymore. The things that are setting up the story and kind of progressing stuff, it was nice. But it's almost I wouldn't say too little too late, but it just kind of feels almost uh-oh, we got 6 episodes left. Quick, get a story out type of thing, which I'll talk about in my negatives, but honestly, those are all the positives I can really think of right now.
Okay, very good. Shifty?
There was a nice little Easter egg. Scorch from Republic Commando, the video game, made an appearance. Yet some EU fans on Twitter weren't so happy about that, and they were actually fussing at Dave Filoni for stealing stuff, which is I don't know. The alien vibes in the opening, I thought that was really cool. This is the second time Filoni's dipped into the alien the Ridley Scott camera panning in certain shots where they, pan up to the ceiling. It's really cool. It was good stuff there. It's insane that we've never got an Alien Predator cartoon of any kind outside that one that wasn't greenlit. The Return of the Camino lady, that was nice. It's far too late for that, though. The conversation between her and that doctor dude was on a whole other level. Really great scoring, and that doctor had a really cool voice. I think it. I got to go back and see who played it. It sounded like Neil McDonough from Arrow and other things. As I said earlier, it's nice to see we're getting to the. Oh, well, I didn't say that, but I'm reading notes here. But it's nice to see that we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the season. But it's it's far too long in the season that we're finally getting there. But we are seeing the rift between Sid and the team form. They're questioning even going back to Sid at this point after this mission's over with. And now we know that the Empire wants Omega, so that's another big thing that they're probably going to build on. But yeah, it's just that they took too long to get the train rolling on all this stuff.
Okay, very good. Hanzo?
The end credits, when it ended. That's what
Nice.
I like.
Nice.
I mean, there's nothing to say that there's a few things that I didn't like, but to sit there and say like, oh my gosh, like this was so great and this was that and I love this, I just didn't, right? I didn't care for the story. I didn't care for the fact that they were like, getting into the cloning for Palpatine stuff and hinting of Easter eggs of that, I agree. Maybe if this episode was starting it off and we got some, better things and more information going forward, then maybe it would have been more interesting. But right now, there's not much I really like about it, to be honest with you.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. There's honesty on the show. Danny.
You try.
I really like the fact that that they got Omega now is like the Camino guy kind of betrayed her, which he really wasn't loyal to her anyhow. The female was, and now he got them an actual storyline, an actual motivation of why they should get her. I'm interested in seeing where they're gonna go with that, because then that should put them whether or not they're gonna send some kind of bounty hunter like Cad Bane or somebody else to try and get her, and then that's gonna test the Bad Batch's skill set, which is formidable. I would like to see that them going up against Cad Bane. I don't think we've seen that yet, so that would be pretty cool.
We saw season 1, didn't we?
I can't remember.
Wasn't Cad Bane and Fennec going after Omega?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they went after. Were they actually battling the Bad Batch though? I thought we were battling each other.
Phoenix
Yeah.
did a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was more between Fennec and
Yeah, I
Cad
want to see
Bane.
Cad Bane go up against. I think the toughest one out of them is Wrecker. Not Wrecker, but the tracker. What's his name? The leader.
Oh,
Dutch
Hunter.
or some shit. Hunter. Yeah, I think Hunter's skill set is more comparable with Cad Bane than the other two. So it'd be interesting to see them kind of go mano a mano. And that's really what kind of piqued my interest and what I want to see the direction it goes in. Maybe they have to pull Crosshair back into the fold to help them out. Because I think they're going to get back together. I don't think Crosshair is going to stay conflicted like he is. I think there's a little confliction going on. They were not really seen yet, but I just kind of think that's kind of floating around. I think they're going to kind of reunite. And I think that Crosshair and Hunter together will be formidable against Cad Bane. So that's what I'm hoping will happen, but that's what really get me kind of interested.
okay. What I liked about it, again, I know we talk about this when we said we can't use this every week, but I have to again point out the ship, the ship quality that they're doing, and I know this is like all on computers and stuff like that, but it's amazing that that's basically what you get in Star Wars movies. It looks really good. And I think the whole ship entrance of this particular ship kind of lost its space and stuff. I thought it was really cool. I guess the cat and mouse games with the beast and the ship was kind of cool. But yeah, pretty much everything else has been said. Again, I think we need to stay too little too late with a lot of it. So there you go. Let's start with the dislikes now. And Danny, what were your dislikes?
I really just like they introduced that doctor, but they didn't give him a name. We don't know who he is. He seems like he can be sinister and diabolical, but I want to know who he is. And I'm not into the lore, into the literature that deep to just recognize ones that's not very current characters. So I like to know exactly who he is. What is? I know he's trying to get the chameleon female to help with the cloning process because I'm assuming that he has not perfected it yet, or he can't do what he needs to do without her. So I want to see who he is. Wish I could tell a little background because they just keep popping up these sinister doctors and sinister characters. We really don't know who they are. I really don't think that Beast was very that story. I mean, he seemed more sinister when he was smaller. When he was bigger, he seemed more King Kong, and not. He seemed more threatening and menacing to me when he was like on the ship. And when he started growing and stuff, I know he probably had a lot of power and strength, whatever that he didn't display. But to me, I think in the smaller form, he seemed more menacing to me. I didn't like when he got big, and basically that's it.
Okay, very good. Anzo, dislikes. Anzo. Anzo. Okay. Shifty, dislikes.
Okay, going back to what you said about how good the ships and stuff look, when the Empire showed up and all them ships started dropping down to the planet, yeah, that looked awesome. I've said this before, like the way they're doing this animation, I'm wondering if it's possible that they can do a remaster of it like a video game, like where they can just upres the textures and replace the models that they have for the characters. Because I know a lot of people that won't even give the Clone Wars or any of these cartoons a chance because the way the characters look. If they could replace them easily with more realistic versions of the characters, they could get a whole new audience for this on a Disney Plus, like the Clone Wars remastered. That would be pretty cool. But dislikes. Well, I got the ad tier for Disney Plus, and they ran a DQ ad in the middle of the episode, and they had onion rings on there, and it made me want onion rings at 4 a.m. in the morning. So that sucked. Yeah, but that, and it's taken too long to get to the meat and potatoes of the season. I mean, that's just about all, and that's a major thing though. I'm tired. I'm tired of waiting around. I want things to get moving, to get rolling, and now that we have Mando and other stuff popping up, it's just brutal now. We need to get the ball rolling. I mean, we got what, 5 episodes left. Something that needs to happen tonight, especially with word is Mando is going to be off the chain tonight because they showed the second episode at the premiere, so it may get overshadowed again. I mean, well, it's going to get overshadowed anyway, but they need to improve next season. This is dumb.
Well, you're assuming that there will be a next season.
Well, I don't think this will be the last season.
Okay, I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. Okay. Anzo, you back?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anzo, go ahead with your dislikes.
All right. So first off, the Bad Batch are supposed to be like the baddest of the bad, right? And they can't complete one mission. They can't get one thing. You know what I mean? Like we seen in the first season how badass they were, right? Now it's like, oh yeah, well, every mission they go on, they fail. And it's so much like convenience because of the reasons they fail. You know what I mean? It's like coincidence, convenience, and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. The Empire coming to the planet, chasing down the ship, and I guess no one realized that it was a clone ship or whatever, right? They've been using that same ship since what, season 1? If I'm not mistaken. So you're telling me they don't know that that's the ship that the clones were using? I don't know, man. It's just weird to me,
I got you.
What else did I not like? I think there's a few things rather than that, but I can't remember right now.
Okay. Oscillator, dislikes.
All right, look, I understand that this show is not only kind of setting up the fall of the clone troopers, but but in this episode they're kind of setting up stuff that happens later down the road in this franchise with Clone Palpatine, which, that's fine if you're into that stupid stuff. However, this show should have built up its story first before building up to the quote-unquote greater good, which, by the way, that greater good is just a total lie. But as far as build, like the whole little build of Clone Palpatine, okay, fine. But like I said, I could excuse that if they had a story already, and then it was like, oh, let's just throw this little line in there to kind of build up the stuff, which is great. But unfortunately, this show is not in a position to do that. Also, like Anzo, actually, I think Anzo literally brought up something that I didn't even notice. They did succeed in the mission, but I don't even think they obtained anything. How? Like, are these guys really that bad? That even when they complete something, they can't collect anything?
You know?
Well,
Oh
I mean,
They collected information.
yay.
wow, information. If I was Sid, I would kick him to the curb. Not only that, I'd be like, listen, Empire, listen. These guys are screwing me over 24/7. I'm not getting anything. I'm going to recoup my losses. So here you go. So listen, I'll give you the Bad Batch, but you better give me triple what I was supposed to get.
Yeah, but Sid sent him on some bullshit missions. The last
Well,
thing
that's true.
was that special or whatever. It wasn't in there. They just happened to trip and fell on that one that had it. They need to get that to get out of there. But the place she sent him to go get it didn't happen. Then she's gonna send him to other place to get Count Dooku's treasures. This shit is full of fucking damn Empire. What the hell?
That's true, but that's just like that's just a thing that's like annoying me. It's like, listen, you're hired to do something, and you keep coming back empty-handed. It's like,
They
what
saved
the
her
hell?
life. They saved her life.
That may be true, but at some point, that whole thing is just gonna be like, yeah, you may have saved my life, but I'm not getting anything in return, type of thing.
You living? That's a
I
great
got a question. I got a question. Why did they round up all the townsfolk? I mean, what was the point of that?
I think they were going to kill him because they saw him there. I thought they saw that big ass Godzilla creature.
Eliminate witnesses.
They're
Yeah.
going to kill all their asses so they wouldn't be spreading about cloning and all that shit.
Because the Empire's
doing this shit in secret.
mantra right now is the clones and Kaminoans and Kamino.
Well, how would they even know it was a clone? They had no. Is this a monster?
I was just about to ask that question.
I'm not telling you it makes sense. I'm just giving you the intel.
When I saw them collecting, I said, yeah, they about to kill all these people, so there's no witnesses. The same way like they killed all the Kaminoans on that island, wherever it was. So there was no more witnesses, and there's nobody else that could do that shit because Palpatine was going to try and do it for himself. So I think he's still in what I gather, he's still in that protective mode. There ain't going to be no loose ends. Anybody going to say they saw this kind of monster, and so people be asking questions, well, that's a such and such and such. That's the vibe I got. I could be wrong.
No, you're 100% correct, Danny. But I'm just saying, how would they have known that creature was a clone? That's the only thing. It's hands down, Palpatine is trying to, get rid of all the witnesses and everything. That's for sure. But I'm like, how would they know that was a clone? To them, they're just regular folk that would be like just a regular creature, no?
Well, I don't know, because Geonosians and all that stuff, I mean, I guess that would take us knowing how informed people are as far as cloning and everything else. I mean, and they never really focused heavily on how much does everybody know. We know it's a clone army, but how much does anybody where clone armies have been knew where the clone armies came from and knew what they were working on. And again, if this is a secret project, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it is a secret project and they don't even want to say, hey, we saw this weird monster and da-da-da-da. Maybe that it doesn't need for them to really know it's a clone thing. It's just they saw it and that's all they need. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they connect the dots, right? I'm saying when I first saw them gathering them people, I said, yeah, they about to kill all their ass.
Yeah. Austin, is there anything else?
Yeah, and I don't want to cry over spilled milk because at the end of the day, yes, this episode did a solid job. I'm not gonna say great job, but or no, not even a solid job, decent job at giving us a little bit of story. But I'm gonna complain because we're 11 episodes in, we're still not in a good position right now to where I feel completely comfortable going into this finale with at least like, oh, we're gonna wrap stuff up. Like, if they're gonna do another season, yes, you need to leave stuff open for at least a bit. But we're 11 episodes in a 16 episode season. They really, when I am emphasizing, really need to pick things up because otherwise,
Here's my question: can anybody tell me what the plot of this season is?
Well, I can tell you what they're going to say it is. It's that they're trying to get rid of clones. They're trying to implement stormtroopers. But at the same time, they're trying to restart cloning, testing for Palpatine's purposes, not the grand army scheme. They're trying to make it look like cloning is a bad thing, get people away from it, so they can utilize it 100% for their own need, or their own wants, or his own wants. And that's what they're going to say. Now, when you watch the episodes, can you really get that?
Nope.
Maybe vaguely. Very vaguely, maybe. But
well, like with those very few episodes we've had in terms of story, I mean, yeah, it's very subtle. But even then, there's not enough there to really say that there's a story. Like, yes, you can argue that there is a little bit of story there. And yes, with this last episode, they are setting up a conclusion, but I just don't think we're going to be in a spot where by the last episode we're going to be satisfied, because honestly, I don't really think so.
okay. Oh, Danny disappeared. All right, so my dislikes on this, the big one, since you guys have mentioned quite a few of them, let's go to the 11 seasons. At least three episodes of an arc last year was bounty hunters or somebody stealing Omega to take her and keep her in, like, Camino. And another season later, near the end of the season, we're basically bringing back the same plot point. It's like, I mean, I kind of get it. She's going to be used as, bait to get the cloner to do what they want her to do. But man, couldn't you come up with I don't know. There has to be a better way, or at least make them. I hope they don't try the kidnapping thing. That's basically what they did last year. I hope, if nothing else, they tell her, listen, we have her, we're going to kill her, or something like that, to force her hand or something. But I get this feeling like they're going to go right back to what they did last season. And that's my biggest thing, is that we're right back where they were last season, where she gets kidnapped for a purpose, and I don't know.
I don't have a problem with it because we've seen in several other movies and several comic books that the hero get a loved one, the bad guy goes after it. Joker goes after Robin. I'm trying to think of some more. Like on Black Lightning, they went after, once they found out who he was, they went after his family. So we see all this kind of stuff. I think in Wonder Woman, they went after Steve Trevor. I want to think. Maybe I got that a little bit off.
Yeah.
But we pretty much know that whenever the villain finds the hero's weakness, that they try to exploit it. And this guy genuinely didn't know what was the Camino woman's weakness. And then the man told him, hey, you get this little girl.
Well,
so that's going to be maybe a same storyline, but it's going to be a different dynamic. Because we don't know what.
I hope that they're going to do something different with it. That's what I'm saying. This show doesn't bring a lot of hope to me that they're going to come up with a neat idea for how to do this right. If that makes sense. That's like my biggest thing is like, okay, and then also, like you guys said, to Austinator's point, yes, they have to leave some stuff open-ended for the next season, but your open-ended stuff doesn't come into play really heavily until episode 11. Shouldn't it be episode 1? It's like, the way they are constructing this show, it feels very disjointed. We said this last year, or last season, with probably 6, 7, 8 in, and it started to form and get better after that. But now we're talking episode 11, and even if it's forming now, we got to get a move on to see where we're going. So, man, pacing is a horrible thing for these shows. But yeah, that's basically my biggest dislike, was the whole, here we go again with Omega. And then again, like you guys said, the whole, you're an elite squad of trained, basically mercenaries within the clone army. You weren't good enough to be side-by-side soldiers with everybody else because you had these quirks. These quirks made you very, you were the attribute to, like, they're like the Navy SEALs almost. That's kind of how they're being portrayed. And yet, every time, they're not completing. And yes, you can throw pitfalls at them, but these guys aren't even trying to say, no, we have to finish this. They're just saying, let's just get out of here. It's too hard. Let's go. Oh shoot, another animal, or another monster, another weird animal chasing us. Let's just go. Forget about trying to get around it, I don't know. It's just,
like, for 11 episodes, all they ever did was like go on these damn missions, right? Side quests after side quest after side quest. They even had an episode where they were like, or who left? Which was the name that left? He left because he knew he could do better, but the clones were like, "Oh no, let's just go continue with our side quest."
Echo.
Like,
yeah, it's
Echo,
yeah. I agree. With that. Yeah, it's.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a bounty hunter or a mercenary or a pilot or police officer or a cook, whatever, don't you do the same thing over and over and over and over again?
What do you mean?
Okay.
But they started these missions.
Okay, but I'm saying if they're bounty hunters, the next mission is the whatever. Or if they're mercenaries, there's going to be a next mission. If you're a police officer, there's going to be a next call. If you're a cook, there's going to be a next meal. I mean, that's what you do over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But
well, I think.
But what I'm saying is they could do more, right? They should be doing more. Like, the Clone Wars, we're seeing that they're trying to get rid of clones. They've seen what was happening, right? They had a fake clone. They had this other clone who was like brainwashed trying to kill them, and they don't care about it. It's like, oh yeah, what's this? Oh yeah, okay, whatever, next mission, right? At this point, it's like, can we get on with them at least trying to maybe helping out the other clones or doing something different? They're just constantly going on mission after mission after mission.
I see what you're saying, but you can look at this like the same way the whole Empire after the Jedi purge, they're wanted. If you want it, you can't just run around freely and stuff. You got to kind of operate kind of in the shadows. So they're kind of in a predicament. If we do go and help, then we're going to, because I think Hunter wants to kind of fade into the woodwork. But then he's kind of like, damn, Sid got us by the balls. So if we don't do what she say, then she might turn us over to the Empire, and then we're gonna be on the run. And we trying to raise Omega. We don't want her to get captured. So they kind of playing.
But they're already on the run, though. You know what I mean? Nothing changes. Empire's still looking for the Empire.
I don't think they are. Now they are, but the Emperor, if he can fool the whole Jedi Order, he know them fuckers are still alive. He know they
exactly.
Are. Huh? But we don't see. But I'm saying he don't seem to be interested because there's nobody chasing them.
There's nobody from the Empire at the beginning of the season, that dude was chasing him.
That dude, when he found out, he killed the stormtrooper that was going to report it because he didn't care about it because he was still using Crosshair, and I know Crosshair told him, "Look, they survived."
Mm-hmm. And wasn't Crosshair the one, like, he had Crosshair looking for them?
No, There was some kind of mission with Cody or something. It had nothing to do with the clones.
So then, where did that other clone was going after the senator? Okay,
Yeah,
it's still,
My,
I,
well,
I still think
he,
it.
my,
I think the Emperor got some kind of sinister plan for them. Because why would he make a super set of clones? Because he got the same way he did that Order 66 for the regular clones. I think he might be got something for in small for them because he ain't even worried about them. Oh, I ain't worried about them. I'm worried about this other kind of stuff. I just think something
but
sinister is going on.
my biggest thing to Anzo's point here is when we first started this journey last season, they stuck together with the intent that right now we're just going to do these missions because that's what we can do. Because we're just trying to get food and stuff. When other missions, the way it made it sound is when other more important things come along, we will then go to that. Well, there's more important things now, and they're not going to that. That's kind of what I think. But I don't know. Anyways,
And maybe
sure.
I'm not one. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure the Emperor does know about them, right? I'm not sure about that yet. And I think I don't quote me on this, maybe you guys could tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I don't think they were actually created like that. I think there was like, a mistake in their creating process which made them the Bad Batch. I don't think they were actually
Yeah.
created with special abilities. I
That's
think
why
it was,
they're given the name the Bad Batch.
yeah.
Is that they were not quite done.
You're muted, Danny.
The reason I'm not 1,000% certain, like you said, about they were intended to be made. Well, that was that intentional or not? But there is no doubt in my mind the Emperor know that they're alive because I'm sure someone, yeah, the guy said it. He said, "No, I'm not putting you in charge of a what you call it, a squad anymore. That didn't work. You're gonna report to commander, whatever his name is." So I'm pretty sure they already questioned him and already interrogate him, and he done told him, "Look, yeah, I stayed on Camino for 6 months, whatever. And the beacon came, but guess what? The Bad Batch they left. The other guys left. So I'm pretty sure that done went up the chain of command. And then we know the Emperor can see into the future on that bullshit. So I for whatever reason, in my opinion, he ain't too concerned with them, or he got some kind of plan that hadn't been revealed to the audience yet. But I know that he know they're alive. But he don't see
The Bad Batch are called the Bad Batch because they are considered defective because they are not identical to the rest of the clone trooper brothers. Each one has a unique mutation that gives them an edge over the others. So they were not created for that. They just happened to come about
To have a mutation, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So
they sure seem to be superior. That's a fantastic.
Well,
mutation.
they are.
Yeah,
They have each one has a superior trait over the other ones, which with the 5 of them together is like one massive awesome group. So, anyways, let's go to final thoughts, grades, predictions if you got them.
I thought they look alike in the face because all the other clones ain't identical. Because we've seen some with blonde hair, some with bald hairs, some with flat tops.
Yeah, that's because they decided over time to give themselves identifying
But I'm
markers.
saying in the face, the Bad Batch look alike. They just got different. They just don't have the same voices. I agree with that. They're different than the rest of the clones. All the other clones sound identical. But other than that, they look just like each other in the face.
Well, but they're different sizes. And then the other things is like, for instance, size, Wrecker that's his mutation, his strength. Hunter's is stealth.
He can track.
Tech is ultra smart. Echo is, they each have.
Echo's a regular clone. He's not one of the Bad Batch. He just joined them. He's a regular clone, and then
I thought Echo was.
Echo was a clone that the androids kidnapped in Clone Wars, and they plug him in because he knew all the battle plans, and they use him like a living computer.
Yeah, and then they saved him.
Then they saved him.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka saved him, and somehow when he came back to the base, and the Bad Batch came in, I think it was the last season of Clone Wars. Then that's when he joined them.
Mm-hmm.
But he's original clone.
He's an original clone.
You don't have
right.
you don't have a mutation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Final thoughts, grades. Danny.
I gave it a C plus. I think that the Emperor has some kind of sinister plans for maybe another secondary chip we don't know about, and I think he's going to use them for some device. I don't know what it is. I just think that the Emperor, plays chess with everybody. He's always 2 or 3 steps ahead, and there's some reason why he's letting them live. I ain't quite figured it out yet, but I think it's something that he's going to use them for down the road.
Okay. C plus. Very good.
I'm gonna go with a C minus on this one. Like I said, I don't think this last episode or even the one before it were like horrible, but I'm just bored with the show. I'm just like I don't care.
Okay. And Austinator?
I'm also going to give this episode a C minus, and that's because I'm being really generous due to the fact that we at least got some semblance of a story. My predictions is, I don't know. I'm just kind of just waiting for the last episode at this point, so that literally when that last episode drops and we get to the credits, that will be the greatest day of my life. And that is an achievement to get through the entire season of Bad Batch Season 2 without falling asleep.
Well, I'll say this to you, what you're saying, Austinator. At least it's better than Andor.
I gotta really
Nope.
I
Nope.
gotta
Nope.
hold on, I gotta really think about this.
Nope.
I don't know. But as far as like my actual predictions, I don't know. Like something's gonna happen. The Bad Batch are gonna screw something up again. Next episode, you know what? If this next, I don't think it will, but I swear to God, this next episode is like a filler-ish episode. I'm gonna lose. Hell hath no fury. I kind of want it to be just for the entertainment value, but
yeah. I think it will be, and then the last 4 will be like, getting into the meat of the story. But I think the next one probably gonna be like a filler or some crap, and then the last 4 are gonna be something special or something.
I know one of them is gonna be filler, and it's just gonna be like, man, this show.
Harry Carey.
Yes. Look, that last episode with like the end credits, it's gonna be the greatest moment of my life. That's just my final thoughts.
Okay, Shifty. Final thoughts, grades.
I guess I'll give it a C, and I'm thinking tonight Sid's going to find out that the Empire's looking for Omega. She's probably going to give her up, and she'll probably get kidnapped, and that's where it's going to leave it off in a cliffhanger, probably.
I could agree with that. And then the next 4 episodes of them trying to get her back. Basil, no, the hate for Andor is bad. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I couldn't finish Andor. At least I got through 11 episodes of the Bad Batch. I got through 3 episodes of Andor.
God that
Andor is amazing. Amazing.
This is kind of, I don't mean it disrespectful, but thank God JJ didn't do the Andor roundtable first, because I would have hate to have to sit through that.
Facts.
Respect for him.
Facts, Danny.
Like, oh my God, JJ.
I wouldn't even have been able to watch the show, man. I'd have been like, no, JJ, I can't do it, man.
Please, JJ, forgive me.
Y'all might get into it next season if that production leak has any bearing on the plot.
No, I will not. I know for a fact. I know not. I will not. If they do season 2, I will not even start watching it. I will not. Okay. I have to see something in a trailer like a bunch of lightsabers light up and shit to where I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm talking about. But unless I see some of that shit, nah.
I'm with you on that, bro. It'd be like
All right.
season 2 of Andor. Click.
Yeah, for real. For real, Daddy.
Bring on the soccer.
My
Golf.
my grade for this one is going to be probably right around the C2 again. Yeah, we're going to get Omega. It's going to get kidnapped. Something again. Probably be Sid. And then she's going to feel guilty. Tell him where she's at. Try to figure out a way to help him get her back. That's probably the rest of your season right there. So it's kind of where I think it's going. Let's see here. First question I put up there. Did you enjoy this episode of Bad Batch? 62% said yes. 37% said no. Then I said, which is more likely? Sid betraying the Bad Batch or the Bad Batch leaving Sid? And it's 63-36. So very close to the same thing, but 63% said Sid betraying the Bad Batch is more likely. What is your grade for this episode of the Bad Batch? C minus C, C plus got 45%, B minus B or B plus got 27%, F, D minus D or D plus got 27%, and A minus or A got 0% again. Not that that's surprising, but that is that, guys. That's going to be a wrap for this one. Next week we'll be back, hopefully on Sunday. What time are we doing the Mandalorian Roundtable?
We do that 8 if everybody just want to go over to the next one.
All right, cool.
Should.
Then we're going to be on the Mandalorian Roundtable next, guys. Come and check that out.
Next 5 minutes.
Yep. So thank you, everybody, and we're going to cut it right there. Everybody.
Peace.
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 Peace.